Madison, you're going to get your food.
Alan? Shalom.
We'll have turkey later.
Yeah.
Arthur, are you hungry now? You
Didn't
can
I
wait.
say without seeds?
Why-
Yes,
be-
you did. I thought about that when I was cutting.
Hi, Harriet.
Hi, good to see you.
Yeah, long time no see.
What's up? They don't. They call me Harriet. Because we are members of the team. We all belong.
What they have there.
Bobby.
I just cry.
Huh?
I think I need to cry if it does.
God, I thought we had it long. Jackie's worse.
Ready to, what do you say to Papa?
Thank you.
Welcome.
I need the water.
I know you've been waiting for that. Ready to sing.
As again, that is moving to the east at 15 to 25 miles an hour.
Covers are permanently on the chairs.
With Canadian cylinders on a radar, they're disappearing. Higher colors on the radar,
Thank God we have them.
here towards Swedesboro, Mulligan Hill, and Middleton, and Melissa, let's just confirm on those of the losses here. We still have separation in the red and
Good thing.
on the radar. And if that is the case, then that is a good thing. And again, we still have that.
He's got the news on.
People to come on.
I don't know if you can see that, but
We don't want to be depressed, do we?
a higher resolution of the.
That's why we'll mute everyone in just a few moments.
Mm-hmm.
I know, it's boring.
With
You
that,
laugh. I heard you say that. Thank you. I was sort of sleeping, but then not.
there it is, high res. Okay, so that's the high res labs right there. And again,
We got news coming from.
They will be.
I'm playing the game of muting people just to see where that noise is coming from. So. Right.
I'm Sharon Beck, wishing everyone Shabbat.
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's good to see folks and see a lot of new faces tonight as well. So welcome to all who are joining us either for the first time or maybe haven't been here for a while. It's always a pleasure to get together, even in this format. Just a disclaimer, I have a virtual background behind me because this is a much nicer background than what's actually behind me tonight. I'm kind of in between computers right now and still trying to make sure that when I go back to my quote unquote studio, if you want to call it that, everything looks nice in the background. So just a few rules of etiquette again. Just please keep yourselves muted unless you are unless you have a speaking role or whatnot. Again, later on in Mesha Barak, we'll make sure that we have a chance to chat in, to put all the names that we're remembering in the chat. Feel free to use the chat to the whole group or to your friends during services. It's we keep it on for folks who just like to sort of whisper to their friends that they would otherwise be sitting next to. Just later on in our service, I'll be really pleased to invite rising third-year student Rebecca Benoff, a rising third-year rabbinic student Benoff, who's going to be giving our so special welcome to Rebecca and to Sharon and Jack and the whole family. So as we begin, I'll invite everyone. I think everyone is muted, and we'll. And if you have any technical questions, Becky is not with us tonight, so Jody is all by her lonesome going to be our technical expert there. So any technical questions, just please put a chat in the chat box to Jody, and she will take care of it. Cantor, what page is Shir Chadash on?
Yes, I was going to say that. It is on page 344 or 648.
Excellent. So we'll sing a new song unto God.
Singing a new song. Shiru Ladonai Kol unto God, all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai Kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. We will sing unto God a new song.
What I can tell you about Summer and Spot, that it never rains. And the Sabbath bride would never be rained on when the Kabbalists are out in the field welcoming her with the words of Lecha Dodi. So we transport ourselves a few thousand miles away. Imagine that we're looking out towards the setting sun, looking out towards the setting sun as we prepare to enter into Shabbat, welcoming our visitors, our angels, and especially our Sabbath bride, Lecha Dodi. We're on pages 20 or 138. 20 or 138. We'll sing together verses 1 and 9.
Yalalalai lecha dodi, yalalalai likrat kala, yalalalai p'nei Shabbat, p'nei Shabbat nikab, yalalalai lecha dodi, yalalalai likrat kala, yalalalai p'nei Shabbat, p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor bezachor, bedibor echad, hishmihanu el ham yuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem hu tiferet, le'litila. Yai lai lai, yalalalai lecha dodi, yalalalai likrat kala, yalalalai p'nei Shabbat, p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Boi beshalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha, usohola, toch emunei, am skula, ba'wichala, ba'wichala. Yai lai lai, yalalalai lecha dodi, yalalalai likrat kala, yalalalai p'nei Shabbat, p'nei Shabbat nikabela.
The world lost one of the preeminent scholars, Jewish scholars, today or yesterday, Rabbi Aden Steinsaltz, who was described not as a once-in-a-lifetime scholar, but a once-in-a-millennium scholar. Really credited for bringing Talmud study to a much larger audience. The Steinsaltz Talmud is on bookshelves of many rabbis and scholars and those who like digging into halakha. And I thought I would share a reading in this collection that I have called Pebbles of Wisdom in his memory as we remember him tonight to lead us into Baruch Hu. God hides, but few seek. There's the anecdote of the famous rabbi's grandson, who, while playing hide and seek with the other children, hid himself. The others forgot about him somehow, and after some time, the little boy ran weeping to the rabbi. "Grandfather," he cried, "I hid myself, and no one looked for me." Whereupon the rabbi was deeply moved and answered, "Why, that is the very same thing that God is saying all the time." When we enter into a time of prayer, we seek God. God is there for us, maybe hidden at times, but we can't stop looking. So we create an intention as we focus on finding God in our lives, in this space, as we call out to God with the words of Baruch Hu. If you're in a place where you can stand, I invite you to do so. I will do so only if I am not cut off from the screen. Cantor, please lead us.
Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Marechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalalai lai lai. 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 Yalalai lai lai.
On page 33 or 151. More words to lead us into Shema as we continue our search. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. So we close our eyes, turn inward, and find that spark, that presence of God that is within each one of us.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You're still standing, you may be seated. We continue on page 36 or 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meotecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
When we sing the prayer of Hashkivenu, the end of the day before we go to bed, we're simply asking God to provide us with protection, safety, security through the night. It's a wonderful thing to ask for, and something that we sometimes take for granted. Whether we say it to our children, as even now with older kids, we still do, or even with younger ones, or even with grandchildren, or even if you just say it to yourself. There's a tremendous amount of peace and calm and tranquility that can descend upon you at the end of a tough, difficult day filled with tension, anxiety, pressure, stress. Just saying the words of Hashkivenu to enable us to enter into night, clear head, clear minds, clear souls, the ability to rest and make it through the night to the next day. Let's sing together.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
I heard again this poem, which I've heard before, but it came to mind this week in a study session I was doing with some folks. It's It's a poem called The Guest House, written by the 13th century Persian poet known as Rumi. To share it as our kavanah, our intention, as we enter into the tefillah. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from the beyond. So this poem helps remind us that there are thoughts, ideas, things that come into our head that sometimes create that stress, that anxiety. We wish they would go away. Greet them, welcome them, know that they have a purpose, and then send them on their way. So with that in mind, we enter into a few moments of silent prayer. We'll begin as we do together with the words of Adonai Sivatai Tiftach on page 46 or 164. Afterwards, we'll have a chance to pray silently. You can either pray through the Siddur and the prayer book, or simply just want to sit, take a few moments to meditate, to think, to be mindful, just to get into that space that you need to be in this Shabbat. If you are in a place where you can rise and stand, if you're able to, I invite you to do so. Cantor, please lead us in.
Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha.
We can't hear.
May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you, O God. You razón y me fide yo libi fanefa Adonai surive koali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you, O God. You razón y me fide yo libi fanefa Adonai surive koali.
Thank you, Cantor Cole Brenner and Nicole Firestone and Eric Schnitzer for creating such a wonderful video of harmonies. We haven't heard harmonies in quite some time. So let me take that back. We heard harmonies when Cantor was in Florida with her mom in the same room. But see the technology that we were able to use. It gives a taste of what could be possible in the weeks and months ahead. And you got to say, is flipping through some of the screens, nothing that brings a smile to my face than seeing proud parents and grandparents watching their children and grandchildren just sing so beautifully for us. So thank you. Transition now into Misha Berach as we offer a prayer of healing for those in our lives, friends, family members who are in need of God's healing presence. We'll sing the words to Misha Berach in a few moments on page 253 or 371. Before we do so, I'd like to invite you to type in the chat box the name or names of those for whom you are praying this Shabbat. And afterwards, we'll just go through the screen and make sure that we get everyone who's there. This Shabbat, we ask for God's healing presence to descend upon Amnon Alenko, Flora Day, Katrina Brannigan, Annette Frazier, Ariel Novick, Doug Novick, Nancy Cohen, Pat Montgomery, Jerry Wilk, Sally Marriott, Karen Levenberg, Richard Dutkin, Mark Spicer, Edwin Krause, Josie Rosenthal, Phyllis Spitz, Debbie Bitterman, Rena Carlin, Betty Miller, Mayor Perlmutter, Esther Green, Rabbi Alex Kress, Joan Woodland, Barbara Rosenberg, Kenny Rosen, Keith Harrison, Beckett O'Reilly, Stu Cohen, Harvey Slutsky, Gary Luck, Leonard Sheffs, Carolyn Austin, Shelley Desatnik, Don Simon, Len Borthwick, Barbara Paley Cohen, Kim Hyman, Harris Mitchell, Holton Weingrad, Sherry Katz, the Goffberg family, Bill Firth, Lou Fleischer, Esteban Mazar, Mark Walker, Gary Knight, Melody Ashby, Melinda Lichardello, Dara Foster Storch, Rita Levin, Blanche Rackety, Barbara Polanski, Linda Rawitz, Betty Betsy Tversky. If there are other names that you need to add in the chat box, or anyone else who wasn't able to add a name, Jody, if you could help us go through the screens and see if anyone has their hands raised. I don't see anybody right now.
Not seeing anyone. Going through. I think
I
you're
also
good.
Okay, I also add the names of Debbie Danforth and Rabbi Rob Nosenchuk. For all those named and those whose names we hold in our hearts, we pray together.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheperach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Throughout the summer, we've had the opportunity, and we will have the opportunity to hear from some guest speakers who will offer Devar Torah, but rarely do we get to hear from a rabbinic student who is also a member of our congregation. Rebecca Benoff and I, we were in conversation back in, I think, February, about finding a date for her to come and speak live to the congregation. Originally, it was supposed to be in June. It was actually the one Friday in June when we knew that she and her parents were going to be in town. We're all excited, and then this happened. But now we had actually a few more weeks to choose from, and luckily Rebecca is able to share some words with us tonight. So for those who don't know Rebecca Benoff, Rebecca is a rising third-year student at the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion. And she she studies at the Cincinnati campus, the flagship campus of HUC JIR. She is also a student rabbi at Congregation Beth Shalom in College Station, Texas, where during normal, at least last year, most of last year, she would travel once a month, maybe twice a month, at least would travel regularly from Cincinnati to College Station, which was no easy trek. And of course, she grew up in our congregation, is the daughter of Sharon and Jack Benoff, and granddaughter of Ed and Elaine Shapiro and and Benoff. And it's wonderful to invite you, Rebecca, to teach us some Torah tonight. So I will turn it over to you, and just remember to unmute yourself.
Great. Thanks so much, Chuck. And thank you all I'm glad to be back, although not in person with all of you back at Share Me, but glad to be with everyone in this sense as well. So before I begin, I wanted to take a moment and, as I hear the thunder roaring in the background, think about something over the past few months, even the past 6 months, that has been consistent for you. Something that has been a source of consistency in your life, in your home, in your being. And I welcome you to share in the chat anything that comes to mind. And I will put the question in the chat as well. I'll give you a few minutes to share in the chat anything that has been a source of consistency to you.
Children or grandchildren. Go ahead.
Food.
Nice.
Children and grandchildren.
I'll give everyone a few minutes to add and to read through. Beautiful, and I welcome everyone to continue sharing. These are some beautiful responses. And now I want to take us back a little bit into this week's parsha, which is Akev. So, the past few weeks of Deuteronomy, we have been retelling the story of Exodus, basically. We are going all the way back, remembering Sinai, the 10 Commandments. We are remembering the fact that we have been circumventing this wilderness for a great deal of time. And we come to this beautiful line in Deuteronomy chapter 8 that says, Simlachtach lo, veltach me'alecha viraglecha lo vatsekha ze arba'im shana. The clothes upon you did not wear out, nor did your feet swell these 40 years. 40 years in the wilderness. And not a single blister, not a single tear in a piece of clothing. And there's a beautiful midrash on this section of the parsha this week that goes on in great detail, saying that the people didn't even go hungry in these 40 years. There was manna. The people were sleeping in the dust, but there were no fleas. God says, not even 3 fleas, instead 3 redeemers I provided, Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. And what's really powerful about this idea, the wilderness concept is all throughout the Torah. And the wilderness isn't necessarily a desert, not even necessarily an outdoor space. Wilderness is really no place. It's the place between here and there on a journey. And in response to this section, God in Deuteronomy 8, God says, Vizartecha et kol hadarche. God says, remember all along the way. God made you travel in the wilderness these past 40 years, that God might test you by hardships to learn what was in your hearts, whether you would keep the mitzvot or not. And God subjected you to hardships of hunger and then gave you manna to eat, which neither you nor your fathers had ever known, in order to teach you that man does not live on bread alone, but that man may live on anything that God decrees. This powerful moment to say, again, that there were hardships, and God made sure that through this time, there was no suffering though in the hardships, which is a hard portion to read when many people are suffering, whether it be from COVID, whether it be from other diseases or personal struggles. It's hard to read a text that says that this journey through the wilderness was just a test. But in the Midrash, there's this beautiful moment that God pauses and says, have I been a midbar? Have I been a wilderness for Israel? Did I act like a desert to you? And it has me thinking so much about, in so many ways, what has been this point of consistency in the ways that the clothes did not wear out, and no one's feet swelled in the 40 years, these beautiful moments of consistency that you all shared in the chat, that I also welcome people to take a moment, read through all of these moments that have really held people through this moment of wilderness that we're all experiencing. But this question God asks, have I been a wilderness for you? What does it mean to be a wilderness to someone else? To be that place of uncertainty? While we look at this list and see so many, especially things like family and friends and cooking and loved ones, I'm thinking about the ways that we need to ask ourselves, how are we being more than wilderness to others as well? While we appreciate that we have not gotten blisters in the 40 years of our wilderness, how are we stopping to think about what we're providing to others, what we're providing to our community and to each other? With that, I leave you with that question. What does it mean to be a wilderness yourself? What is the opposite of wilderness? What does it mean to be the place where someone can find themselves, the place that might be known, and a place of certainty when all around us might be wilderness? Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rebecca. And I see a very proud mama behind you. Thank you so much for inspiring us and letting us go into that place, the place of reflection, to think about what these moments have been and what that wilderness is. And I'm thinking of what is the opposite of wilderness? We kind of think of what like jungle, or is it something like that, or is it whatever it may be? But let's hope that whatever that place is, that we can find that place and take comfort from these things that sustain us through these difficult times. So thank you. John Stevens, I invite you to share a few announcements.
I am happy to, Rabbi. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, Shirami family. And on behalf of the entire congregation, I can express how lucky we are. That beautiful duet accompanied by Eric, by Nicole and Cantor, and now Rebecca. We are so delighted to have you home and in all of our homes together. And you know what? I think the opposite of wilderness for us is being all together. And thank you for bringing us that message, Becca. It's so great to have you here. And also congratulations to you to arrange to have your own congregational president sitting behind you over your shoulder while you deliver your devar. So I want to thank Mary for leading some of our table blessings tonight. It is always great to have members to help enrich our services. To Cooper and Dylan Sherwood, we wish you mazel tov on your bar mitzvah this upcoming Monday. It is wonderful to be able to continue our life cycle celebrations even during this time in the wilderness. Our Shabbat celebrations continue tomorrow with the very first ever Torah on the Trails with Rabbi Briskin. It is different from our usual Shir Walk runners in Washington Crossing Park, so don't go there. We will meet at Tyler State Park at the Nature Trail. You can find all the details in your email, and please register ahead of time and sign our Brit Kehillah, which will also talk about a little bit about the safety measures that we will have so we can meet together. And I look forward to seeing many of you, or at least 12 of us, together with the rabbi tomorrow morning. Rabbi Briskin also leads Hebra Torah at 10:15. And yes, as a result, if he can do both, we can do both if you choose to. And tomorrow evening, you may celebrate Havdalah with the Cantor in a Zoom room near you. Next week for our spiritual growth, rabbis continues Monday morning blessings and meditations, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If Tuesday you are available to meditate, you may do so with Cantor Flo Friedman. So The t-shirt contest is finally closed. The designs are in, but during this 2020 of the plagues, judging was postponed. So we will meet to judge our submissions and be able to announce shortly the winner of our t-shirt contest. You help us refill the pantry at the main entrance on Monday through Thursdays from 9:30 to 12:30. We need delivery volunteers for the JRA. You may contact Andy Lasner or register online through the website. On August 19th, Wednesday, we will have a book reading, part of our Brit Olam commitment as a congregation to fight or create racial justice. We'll be studying together the How to Be an Anti-Racist, a book by Ibram X. Kendi. If you can't read the book, there are other ways to catch up and be prepared for the discussion, also in our email. Rabbi Eric has a great guest speaker coming, Kobe Cooper, to talk a little bit about life in Israel in the age of coronavirus and governmental upheaval and economic challenge. That's this coming Tuesday. We also have on a preparation for High Holy Days starting August 27th, a Thursday session on the book, This Is Real and You Are Completely Unprepared, The Days of Awe, as a Journey of Transformation by Rabbi Alan Liu. Connecting together. Cantor, our trio tonight sounded wonderful, but we all can sing again with you on Wednesday, August 11th at 10 a.m. And it seems to me that August is month of the book club, because you've heard about a couple of books already. Tuesday, the 11th, Cantor will lead a discussion of Big Summer by Jennifer Weiner. And I would also like to announce a new upcoming Shirami Rosh Hashanah tradition. We can send Rosh Hashanah greetings to the entire congregation. Where Donna DeSantis and Natalie Cohen and their team are preparing a celebration kit to help us all celebrate Rosh Hashanah at home. And you may help wish all of our friends who are members of Shirami by sponsoring the kit. And more to come on that in the upcoming weeks. Big thanks to Donna and Natalie. Donna is also, and her team of 5 delivery people are anxious to deliver to more than just 50 participants in our grocery card campaign. She has to deliver over $10,000 worth now, and you know that 5% of that comes back to Shirami. She would love to be able to deliver more than our highest weekend ever, which was $14,000. So keep our 5 delivery teams busy. And oh, by the way, if you're not one of the 50, you are missing out on something. If you're thinking of a career or job change or need one, please join the Shirami Career Network led by Congregate Fred Fisher. You may reach out to him. And also on Sunday, August 16th, we will sing, dance, and play instruments with kids of all ages with Miss Maryland. Admission is free for Shirami members, $5 for non-members. So it has been really a special summer Shabbat together tonight. It is great to see all the screens of us to be together. The Shir Board wishes you a Shabbat of rejuvenation filled with shalom. Hope to see you next week or sooner. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, John. Shabbat shalom. Kendra, do you need to update something with the calendar before?
Yes, that book chat we had was this past Tuesday. So we had a really lively chat, and people, even though some of them were without power, we had a wonderful chat. Stay tuned. We're going to be picking some more books for the months ahead, since we all enjoyed reading some extra books together. So stay tuned.
And we'll also be, in addition to the High Holiday just book discussion on the book by Rabbi Alan Liu, we'll have, during the month of Elul, we'll have some other opportunities to come and learn and prepare ourselves for the High Holidays. So keep tuned. As we prepare to transition into Kaddish. A Prayer for Strength by Rabbi Naomi Levy. Wait till whoever's printing something in my office stops printing. You can hear that in the background. Shared space, folks. Now this again. A prayer for strength. When I am lost, help me, God, to find my way. When I am hurt, shelter me with your loving presence. When my faith falters, show me that you are near. When I cry out against you, accept my protest. God, as a prayer too, as a call for you to rid this world of all pain and tragedy. Until that day, give me the will to rebuild my life in spite of my suffering, to choose life even in the face of death. Amen. As we prepare to say Kaddish in a few moments, we think of those in our community who's died in recent days, those for whom we're observing Shiva, the first 7 days of mourning, or Shaloshim, the first 30 days of remembrance. I mentioned before, in our Jewish world, we remember Rabbi Aiden Steinsaltz. In our closer community, we remember Major General Carol Ann Timmons, niece of Ed Short. We continue to observe Shaloshim, the first 30 days of remembrance, for Isidore Smollow, Harry Tankin, Morris Goldberg, Frederick Gates, and Vincent Petrellis. And we remember those who died at this season in years past, whose Yort Satan will fall in the days ahead, the week ahead, and whom we remember by name tonight. Elaine Berger, Rona Bruck, Judith Book, Samuel Bunks, Rose Fermet, Bernard Glazer, Barbara Gordon, Nettie Lurie, Samuel Lurie, Vita Marcella, Danny Miller, Beatrice Peskin, Arthur Frederick Rieses, David Rothstein, Stanley Small, Jesse Sternblitz, and Joseph Telesky. If you're remembering someone this Shabbat, I invite you to unmute yourself for a moment and just to say the name aloud. Danny?
Simon Denenberg.
Others? Shronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. For those who are observing Kaddish tonight, I invite you to unmute yourselves and we'll have our voices shared together. If you're able to rise, I invite you to do so as we turn to page 294, which corresponds to page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Hava. V'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayecho v'yomecho v'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael. V'agala v'zman kari v'ru amen. Yehei shmei Rava v'orash alam v'lamei amayim. Yitbarach yitkabach Yitpa'ar Yitrolam Yitnaseh. Yitadar Yitaleh Yitalal Shemei Shah. Le'ela min kol birchata shirata. Tushbechata echinata. Ta'amiran yalvam v'ru amen. Yehei shlama rava v'shmaya. Hayim aleinu v'Yisrael. Amen. Oseh shalom b'Roma. Ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'Yakol Yisrael. V'Yibru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom. shalom bimroma. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Everyone feel free to unmute yourselves. Wish everyone.
Shabbat shalom,
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom, everybody.
Bye.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
If you want to stick around, Onek, feel free to stick around.
Shabbat shalom.
Sharon, thanks, Jack.
It was great.
Shabbat shalom.
Hi, Elaine.
Shabbat shalom, y'all.
Happy birthday tomorrow, Bob DeSantis. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to
Double for me.
Shalom.
Oh, any other birthday?
Shabbat shalom to everybody from back in Pennsylvania. I'm home.
Shabbat shalom.
We have a few more spots for tour on the trails tomorrow. If you want to join us, just sign up.
Oh, that's like fun if the weather's nice.
Yeah. The weather's not nice. Well, those who are registered will get a note in the morning, but I think it's supposed to be okay.
Good.
Between the raindrops, between the rain.
Good luck with it. My Lord.
Alan has something different in his cup tonight. Not used to seeing that. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Over the moon.
So is this too big of a breakout? Is this too big of a room, or should I break it into two groups? Let me do it into two.
Goodbye, everybody. I have to go.
Nice to see
Rebecca.
everybody.
Hi, Elaine.
What?
I'll break it into two groups.
No, keep it one.
One?
One.
Yeah, leave it at one.
All right. Is that the ones that's spoken? All right.
Having all these people with you, though.
What's that?
Then I don't like sharing you with all these people.
Come on Thursdays at 8:30. There you go. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
We'll be back on next Thursday, Rabbi. It's just a long time with the festive
Yeah.
So Don, where's Donna? Is Donna still there? Did she go? I thought I saw her. Okay, I see Donna. So Donna, if you can hear, I was doing some quick math, and I kind of figured out, this is for the for the script, is that if 2/3 of our members, 400 members, spent $100 a week on groceries, they spent about $100 a week.
Yeah.
That would be $2 million a year of gift card sales, which would translate to $100,000 for the temple every year.
It's
Now,
significant.
I gotta say, Donna, had to ask me for a while to say just carrying. Oh, we keep on forgetting, we're not getting them, etc. Now we finally get them. I always get mad when I go to the market. I don't have any of the cards with me, but it's a really great and easy way to support the congregation. So we're gonna. What do you think we can set up? Donna, are you ready to try to sell $2 million worth of gift cards this year? Oh no, oh she
I was
left.
gonna say, she already left.
She left already. She's like, I don't want to hear that.
So, Rabbi, she'll figure out a way to get it to everybody.
Well, we'll look for volunteers, absolutely.
And just so you know, if you're out of the area where she delivers to, you can order for the pantry and just say okay, $50 for the pantry if you can't get shot.
Okay.
And then, it's also that 5%.
Great, excellent.
Great idea.
It's good to see everyone. Hi, Corinne. Are you back in town? Are you back in?
Yeah, I came back. I actually last Friday during services, I was on my way back.
Welcome back.
I
Welcome
left
back.
I left 3 o'clock in the afternoon with Zula time, and I got back to Philadelphia at midnight.
You didn't drive, did you?
Is that Elaine right there? I can't see it. Is that Elaine Shapiro? And iPad 5? Or is that someone else?
Yes.
Who is that? I can't.
I think they hung up, Rabbi.
Maybe not. Okay. Maybe
I think
did.
they hung up because they were on an iPad.
Okay. I'm not sure.
It's
Arthur?
been rough getting.
Well, good to see you. David and Sheila, nice to see you. And David, Stephen D.
Shabbat
Oh, Dean and Michael, good to see you as well. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So the Karen, I think, was got home and she started making a stew, and I think we're having like a nice stew for dinner. Opened up a nice bottle of wine. Looking forward to that. So, and I'm really envious of Harriet. I'm envious of your wall of copper cookware. That's a really nice.
They actually get used.
Yeah, exactly. And you have your grandkids there? Is that right? Did I see that?
Yeah, I have. Listen now. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi guys.
And Arthur has left the coop. He's upstairs already. So.
Shabbat Shalom. Hi there.
Hi.
What's your name?
Say your name. Oh, she's shy, but Madison.
Hey, at least
We
she comes
were
on
in
the screen.
Indiana
I don't like to
visiting our
come on the screen.
grandkids.
Well, one does, but one doesn't.
Right.
Indiana?
New York.
Indiana, visiting our grandkids.
Nice.
Did you drive or
That's
fly?
why we've been out of town for 3 weeks. So
Did you drive? You drove there, I think?
No.
We
Yeah.
drove, yes.
Yeah.
We stopped in Columbus on the way there, but we drove all the way home on the way back.
It's a long drive.
Long drive.
drive.
So apparently Becky Markowitz is out to visit her, well, I want to say really her granddaughter. I guess her son and daughter-in-law come with the package, but out to visit her granddaughter. And she is driving cross country there and back.
Wow.
So with Lewis, yeah. So
Wow.
Hey,
How far
your
across-
speed?
Tough.
Glad you're home safe and sound.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
It was stressful.
I'm sure it was.
Stressful
How do you say
getting there. And
sure.
staying in a hotel was tough, but
where?
we came prepared with lots of cleansers and sprays and did what we had to do, and we're home,
Good.
hopefully safe and sound. So
Very courageous.
Yeah.
we haven't
I'm
seen our
thinking-
grandchildren since beginning of March,
Ugh,
so
so awful.
it was overdue. We
Yeah.
usually see them once a month or so it was really tough.
It must have been nice.
It was great. And the kids miss the attention from grandparents,
Sure.
So they've been so isolated and alone a lot. So it was great for them as well.
Good.
That's
Very good.
correct.
Very nice. Excellent.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat
Shalom.
shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Canner.
Your singing was beautiful. Great.
Thank you.
As always, as always.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
What was that? Someone's got buzzed.
That's about it.
Well, have a good week, everyone.
All right. All
You
right.
too.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm gonna
Shabbat
I'm gonna end the. Oh, I realize this is all being recorded to YouTube. I always forget to stop the recording. Stop.